was my impression too. I don't know how much. Yeah, I don't know exactly what kind of input he had in the initial session or in the very
Something interesting, because I know there are a lot of people who are interested in producing here and might not, like, basically you see Jon Stewart, he's an executive producer, but he's also like the face of his show, and that kind of entitles him to executive producer status. Same thing with Stephen Colbert, you know, he's an executive producer, kind of oversees everything, but there's a third member of this troika, and I'd just love for you to dwell on him for a moment. His name is Ben Carlin, and he's an extraordinarily successful television executive producer, and what was his role early on in the birth of Colbert?
He was pretty integral in setting it up. He's a former Onion writer who started at The Daily Show when Jon Stewart took over. Jon Stewart basically picked him as one of the writers. He became a head writer, or I think he may have been picked as a head writer off the bat, and then for The Daily Show for Jon Stewart after he took over in 2000. And then he also became an executive producer. I think he became pretty hands-on and involved to The Daily Show, became an executive producer there. So he was one of the people, helped start Colbert. He was around a lot in the beginning, and I think he seemed to have a big hand in helping format it. He brings a lot of energy. He was very, he had a big presence in the office, I thought. But yeah, again, I don't know exactly how much of the initial idea was his, but he was around kind of helping to get the show on its feet. I think some of what we got from The Daily Show was just a sense of, they had been running a very similar show 4 nights a week for about 10 years when our show started. And so they were, a good resource to kind of learn some things and get off from there. But I think from the beginning, too, there was a concerted effort not to lean on that too much. I think they're kind of like our sister show. And we definitely speak to each other about things and about what sort of topics are going to be covered, so we don't end up doing similar shows on the same stuff. But yeah, I think there was a sort of early on to be like, well, we need to operate separately, or else we are function as our own program.
Okay, in a moment we'll get to your day-to-day role and what it's like to be a producer. But I guess a question that I've been asked quite a bit just leading up to this is, obviously Stephen Colbert plays kind of a bombastic writing, and is he similar to the character that he portrays in the show, or I assume based on that smirk that he's not, and therefore I'm wondering what is he like to work with? What's he like as a leader of the show behind the scenes?
He's similar in that he's really funny, and he's like a genius performer. He's such an insanely good actor, and so a lot of what he does on camera is just I think it's incredible. But he's a really nice guy. He's insanely busy, but he seems to constantly be thinking of the premise that he is for the show, and he just has a really good touch. I feel like having been in the Daily Show, I think he came in with a really good sense of some of this stuff. And sometimes if I'm editing something or if I'm working with an editor on something, occasionally he'll come in and kind of just have a couple really quick thoughts to reformat it, and he's dead on. He has some really precise, good ideas, and he's able to communicate really well. He's genuinely he's also a very good guy.
I look forward, we'll touch on that in a little bit. I guess you kind of segued in, you were talking about working with editors. So what is your job as a producer? What do you do?
Well, I'm particularly a footage producer, so I work kind of in the post-production department. But I'm responsible mainly for news clips and footage kind of gathered from Fox News, CNN, things like that, cut into montages that are either funny on their own or lead into a joke, or if you see something a crazy news clip where somebody's acting dumb on the TV, that's my job. I have to find people who act on television, or stick to talking points, or